Hello and welcome to the movie podcast review of Top Gun Maverick. My name is Daniel, and joining alongside me is my co-pilot, Anthony. Hello, Anthony.
Hello.
I don't have a call sign for you yet, so there was a couple ones I was throwing around, but I want to know if you have one for yourself.
Well, I go by Mr. Jetsetter. That is my handle pretty much
I could
everywhere.
see that on a helmet. I could see it on a helmet for sure.
Yeah, I do see that on a helmet, like just Mr. Jetsetter and just a bunch of jets flying. But what about you, Daniel?
I don't know if it would fit on a helmet, but I was thinking one that says like crippling depression.
Ooh.
Is that too much?
That's on the back of my helmet.
That's what you want your guys to see as you're walking past them. No, I think for maybe host. I like host.
Host is good.
Host is nice and short. It's a host.
I also like Hollywood.
Hollywood's great. Hollywood's a classic one.
Our industry is Hollywood, so you know. What do you think Shay would be?
Man, what would Shay's be? Shay's would be like
he's not here today, as you can
Shay's
tell.
not here. No, so let's give some background. Shay is not here. Shay is off traveling the world right now. He is in sunny California, but he will be joining us next week for a spoiler-filled review of Top Gun Maverick. So, our Shabazz fans are Shabaniacs?
Oh,
don't worry.
That's their
fandom name.
100%.
Shabaniacs? Yeah, Shabaniacs, don't worry. Shay will be here next week, and you hear all about his thoughts on Top Gun. But yeah, what his call sign be?
Mr. Electric.
Mr. Electric, because he does drive an electric car.
Yes.
Electric, yeah.
He wouldn't fly a gas plane. He wouldn't want to fly an electric plane.
He would want to fly in an electric plane. All right, well, we'll
get
see.
too far.
Maybe one day. But, this has been a movie a long time coming. I think this is the last film that was supposed to release in 2020 that has finally arrived, right?
I remember talking about this film in 2019. I think we did quite a bit of episodes on it. We did a trailer breakdown of it, and then there was a whole we
had our most anticipated movies.
Yeah, and the controversy of it, and then pandemic hit, and now we are here finally. There was a bunch of delays as well.
There was. Yeah, I think this is the first movie to hold the title of our most anticipated movies for 2020 and 2021 and 2022. 3 years in the making. We've been waiting for this film, and it's finally here. And spoiler alert, it's very much worth the wait. But we're going to talk all about it because this is the Movie Podcast, and you can catch a brand new episode of our show every single Monday. And watch out throughout the week for our review episodes and all the latest movies and series. Make sure you follow us at The Movie Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Letterboxd. And don't forget to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, join our Discord, and write into the show at hello@TheMoviePodcast.ca. Check out our show notes for all of those links and more. There's lots going on the feed right now, so I just want to get you all caught up. We do have our Chippendale Rescue Rangers review out, so you could go listen to our thoughts of that film right now, spoiler free, of course. We also have Akiva Schaffer, the director of the film and member of The Lonely Island, joining us on the show tomorrow, so on Thursday, May 19th. So whenever you're listening to this, go check out our feed. Hopefully it will be there if you're listening to it afterwards. But yeah, we had a great time with Akiva, and you're going to want to check out that interview. It's one of my favorites that we've ever done on the show. Speaking of interviews, we have lots on the feed right now, including our conversation with director Sam Raimi and writer Michael Waldron of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, actress Devin Nakota of Disney Sneakerella, and we had two of the Kids in the Hall join us on the Movie Podcast last week with Mark McKinney and Dave Foley. I almost called them the New Kids on the Block.
We tend to want to say that when we talk about
the New Kids in the Hall.
Yes.
The New Kids in the Hall. No, but we're just so thankful to have them joining us on the show. And May is not slowing down because obviously we have a Top Gun review coming out right now. We'll have our interview, like I said, with Akiva coming, and lots more movies, interviews, and more coming. And also, there's a little movie coming out next week called The Bob's Burgers Movies, and we're partnering with our friends at Disney Studios Canada because we want to send you and a friend to see it early. So if you want to live that movie podcast life and want to see movies early, head over to our Instagram page, head over to our Twitter. You'll see the Bob's Burger post and entry. We just want you to let us know your favorite Bob's Burgers character. You could also email us at The Movie Podcast, or hello@TheMoviePodcast.ca, as we always say. Let us know your favorite character, and we'll enter you into our draw, and we'll let the winner to know on May 23rd. So that's coming up very, very soon. And of course, thank you to our friends at Disney for partnering with us on this interview. Speaking of great companies to partner with, Bonfire, we're working with them to get you some great merch. So if you want to help keep the lights and the mics on here at the Movie Podcast, check out our merch. We love it. We wear it all the time. We annoy our friends with how much we love wearing it. And we've had some really great support already. So definitely check out our merch. And we're going to start introducing some new shirts and new designs as well too. So if you want to support the show, that's the best way to do it as of right now. But today is all about Top Gun Maverick. This film is releasing on May 27th. So again, it's been a long time coming, and it's finally almost here for you. So I want to say thank you to our friends at Paramount Pictures Canada for inviting us to watch this film. It is directed by Joseph Kosinski and stars, of course, Tom Cruise, Miles Teller, Jennifer Connelly, John Hamm, Glen Powell, Lewis Pullman, Charles Parnell, Bashir, Salahuddin, Monica Barbaro, Jay Ellis, Danny Ramirez, Greg Tarzan Davis, with Ed Harris and Val Kilmer. Top Gun Maverick flies exclusively into theaters, like I said, on May 27th by Paramount Pictures. Now, I'm going to read you a quick synopsis, and then I'm going to kick it over to Anthony. And Anthony, I want you to tell us all about your history with Top Gun. You know, how many times you rode the Top Gun ride at Wonderland. And
buddy.
And then we're going to get into your first reaction. After more than 30 years of service as one of the Navy's top aviators, Pete Maverick Mitchell is where he belongs, pushing the envelope as a courageous test pilot and dodging the advancement in rank that would ground him. When he finds himself training a detachment of Top Gun graduates for a specialized mission, the likes of which no living pilot has ever seen, Maverick encounters Lieutenant Bradley Bradshaw, call sign Rooster, the son of Maverick's late friend, radar intercept officer Lieutenant Nick Bradshaw, aka Goose. Facing an uncertain future and confronting the ghosts of the past, Maverick is drawn into a confrontation with his deepest fears, culminating in a mission that demands the ultimate sacrifice for those who will be chosen to fly it. So this movie has been a long time coming. It has been over 30 years since the first Top Gun film from Tony Scott. This one's directed by Joseph Kosinski. You know him from his work on Oblivion and Tron, and so many more great films. He is a fantastic director, and now he is, cutting his chops with Tom Cruise. Anthony, take us away with your first reaction and obviously your history with Top Gun.
Top Gun is a huge part of my life. Growing up, it was the movie that I would watch all the time. The action sequences was phenomenal. I think I remember buying when it came out on DVD and getting like that digital sound, because it's actions, the digital sound that was part of that action sequence was a huge part of my home theater system, and I would always put it on as a demo.
That was what you would show off to people, like, hey, do you want to hear how this DVD sounds?
Yeah, because it was like,
listen to this.
It was like DTS sound, and like this is the demo that you play for your friends and family that come over. And as well as, Wonderland was a big part of my life as well, and Paramount owned Wonderland at the time.
Paramount Canada's Wonderland, and the Top Gun ride was a huge one for us. Dude, and you living where you lived, close to Wonderland, so yeah,
I would go to that ride all the time. It would have the music playing, and I would just
be Danger Zone blasting all the time.
Danger Zone is probably the most hypest song you can get in. Like, if you listen to that song, you want to fly a jet plane. Do you not?
It's funny you say that, because when we were driving home from our screening, we drove by the airport. I'm like, Anthony, just pull in, man. Like, there's got to be a jet there for us to fly away with.
Man, like, I wish I knew how to fly planes.
I don't think it would end well for us.
No, it'll probably crash and burn.
Probably, or they would just take us down somehow before we even got close to a plane.
Think?
Yes,
Canada doesn't have a lot of jet planes.
I don't think. So here's the thing. I don't think they have jet planes at a commercial airport. I think it's not a military base.
There's no missiles?
There's no missiles. No missiles. This is not Grand Theft Auto.
But yeah, like, Top Gun was a big part of my life, and learning about Tom Cruise wanting to bring this movie back, I always thought it was funny because the original Top Gun wasn't critically praised, and it became like this cultural film at the time. It just became pop culture because it had like the sequences. It had.
Yeah, it was a big blockbuster film, but it made a lot of money at the box office, but it wasn't like this well-received movie by the critics.
No,
but it was beloved though.
It was, and you wouldn't think like, oh, we're going to make a sequel out of it. But man, this sequel is fantastic. It like crushes the original in terms of just being a friggin' action sequence juggernaut. Like, just the visuals of it, the IMAX sequences are fantastic. if you compare it to the original Top Gun, like this is the most realist you can get into a fighter jet.
We've never seen a movie with jets or planes look better than Top Gun Maverick.
And there's so many fighter movies out there, but like this is probably the closest you'll feel in the cockpit.
Yeah.
And it feels like it. That IMAX camera is essential for this type of movie. I don't think without it, it would just fall flat.
This is the movie that, there's a lot of movies that we say, watch it on the biggest screen possible. Yes. But this movie is why I go to the movies. Top Gun Maverick is why I go to the movies. Yeah. This film just felt massive. This film just was gorgeous to look at. And from the get-go, this movie is it's like go. And you're literally feel like you're just rising higher and higher in the sky with them.
And it's good to like see where his character has gone. There's a lot of like play on the whole, you're still a captain, you're an older, you should be in a higher position at your age, but you're not. And it also plays into, I don't know if it's like a little bit of a jab at his career, because he looks so young and he's also like in still action films and he's not stopping. He's doing all these fantastic things. Yeah.
It's like, why would I leave when I'm the best at this?
Right.
Like, this is what I meant to do.
This is a Tom Cruise film through and through. Like this guy, even though there are other characters in this movie, and I think it's really important for you to watch Top Gun before you watch this film, because there's a lot of callbacks to that film. This is all Tom Cruise. Like Tom Cruise is in every sequence. He steals certain sequences away from people.
Yes.
Like, it's his movie. And it's so funny because you don't see that a lot, but it's also not done in a
malicious way.
Way, or like a shit, like it doesn't make the movie look trashy.
No, he's not stealing the spotlight. No. He's Tom Cruise.
Yeah, this is him. And I think without him, this movie would be will fall flat. But yeah, like the story is a pretty simple story. It really revolves around the whole crew. Him and he's become a teacher. He and his crew need to figure out how to maneuver themselves to blow up I don't know, like
a base, a
base or something like that.
It's not like an army base or anything. It's, again, like Anthony said, it's a very straightforward. Just here's a thing. Here's these weapons that we need to destroy. Teach them how to do it and go.
And it's just that dynamic of, how do I teach these kids again? How do I become the teacher when I'm not really designed as a teacher?
Right.
How do I get them to respect me? And also, how do I get Rooster, who is Goose's son,
Rooster and the Goose,
acknowledge me and accept me, and not in the way of, I killed your father.
Right.
I'm the cause of your father's death. So there's a lot of dynamic. There's also a love story built into it, which is interesting. I know there's Top Gun. The original Top Gun is based on a love story as well, so they threw that in. Jennifer Connelly does a fantastic job playing Penny. I think her name is Penny.
Yes.
I believe. But yeah, like it's just a well-rounded film. It's also a film that you haven't experienced in a long time. I know you were saying, Daniel, like this is a movie. You said that in
and it's funny, like we're the movie podcast, but no, like I left there and I was just like, man, like that is, like I said earlier in the review, I'm like, this is why you go to the movies. This is why you watch movies on the big screen.
Right.
Tom Cruise is the biggest and best movie star in the world, and you see a movie like this, I'm like, that's why. People wonder why, this movie should have came out 2-3 years ago, or 2020, whenever it was supposed to come out. Right. Seeing it today in a theater, this is why they waited, because we watch it with a big crowd. We watch it in a packed theater,
super packed,
and everyone's reactions. That's what they wanted. That's what they were waiting for. And this movie demands the big screen. This movie demands a crowd to watch it.
Yeah, and I think from what I was hearing in the crowd, like a lot of people did not watch the first one. Like, they didn't grow up with it, and
we heard afterwards.
They watched it like suddenly, and they watched it maybe a couple of weeks ago, and they loved that movie, and then now they were clapping at the end of this film.
Yeah,
Tom Cruise is, I think, the last
movie star.
I think that's to base a whole movie. Like, no one cares about Maverick the character. Like, people care about Doctor Strange, so they'll go watch Doctor Strange. Whoever plays Doctor Strange, but Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise. That's what draws that crowd in.
He's putting butts in seats there.
100%. And I think his 130-day window for this movie to be in theaters is, I think it's I think it'll make the money that he's looking for.
I hope so. Because honestly, like, for me, we've been talking about this film. It's like, man, like I left this movie just such on a high. Like we were blasting Danger Zone on the way home.
Yeah.
You know, the new songs in the film are great too. Like there's just the One Republic song, which was used really well in the film. And then obviously the Lady Gaga song, which, you know, when I first heard it, I'm like, oh, hey, this is interesting. And then it's really grown on me. And I actually really love the song now, especially with the music video.
I think after the music video, it really connects.
Yeah. You know, and it just brings you that nostalgia. And what I think this movie does best is that it's not a retread of the first movie. And I think a lot of times when we see these legacy sequels after so many years, it's like, okay, how can we tell the first movie again?
Yeah.
And this movie isn't that. Yes, there are elements of it, there are callbacks to it, but it's very much a sequel. It's not Top Gun again, you know, or Topper Gun, you know what I mean? Or Top Guns, you know, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to give like this two guns, two top, like, you know, it's not a sequel. Like this movie pays so much respect to obviously what's come before, but this is the evolution of this character. He's not trying to do the same things, even though he knows his limits more in this one, and he's more of a human character, and he really makes Maverick a three-dimensional character, where in the first film, he's very just, you know, I'm the best, I'm the greatest. Yeah, shitty things happen in the movie, and he grows from it, and you see that growth in this film. Yeah. And I also want to shout out, you know, all of the pilots in this film, I think were great. Like all the actors, I would say. Like
there's a big chunk. There's like 9 or 10 of them.
9 or 10 of them, and you get a good, decent amount of screen time with a lot of them. Obviously, Hangman, Rooster, Phoenix. As we were said, Phoenix, Payback, Bob, Ace. Yeah, like there's so many of them that you're like, these are all like now I think like in the echelon of being iconic characters in the Top Gun world, right? And I really loved I think all the actors who were part of this film did such a great job of like, yes, this is a Tom Cruise movie through and through. Yeah. But they all get their time and they all play their parts really well. Yeah,
Miles Teller did a fantastic job.
Yes.
This is 2 for 2. He has The Offer that's come out, and now he has Top Gun, and he's his character as, you know, the son of Goose.
Yeah, the son of Goose.
Son of Goose, Rooster. We usually use their call
signs, yeah.
Call names. But I thought he did a fantastic job. Like there's a lot of like animosity towards Tom's character, and there's a lot of, you know, there's things that are mentioned that it keeps him from really being the best pilot, and it really focuses on his dad. And I like the little callbacks that they do with Goose, both him and Tom Cruise's character, Mr. Maverick.
Mr. Maverick. Your doctor will see you now.
But yeah, they really like, they'll say, Goose, you know, give me a sign, or
tell me Goose, or you know, it's like little moments like that where I'm like, damn, like
it's very patriotic.
This is patriotic, but it's also like, man, like this movie's, I'm getting emotional right now at a Top Gun movie. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and obviously, like, you know, Goose dying in the first Top Gun, that was a big thing. Like, that was like a well-known thing, and it was sad. But like, man, this movie just elevates every area of the original. This movie just elevates it, like to new levels of just new heights. It's so well made. It's so beautifully shot, and man, like I was just so giddy leaving there,
dude. I remember I kept looking at you, and you were just like, you get the nod. There's you know, like in any, you know, army or military movie, there's always a nod.
The nod they give
the general you nodded Tom Cruise in this movie.
I nodded him, dude. I was nodding, and like I was like, you get it, Maverick.
When Tom Cruise gave the hug, you got that hug.
I hugged the person next to me. They're like, who are you?
It was it makes you feel good. It's a very feel good film.
It does.
Sure.
And you know, I literally left the theater. I'm like, I would watch that again right now. Like honestly, like I was just so hyped on it. There's definitely some slow moments in the movie though. And I think the thing that we were talking about most is, you know, Jennifer Connelly is, you know, she plays Penny in this. She is the romantic interest in this film. Yep. But I think she's given a little bit more to do, and you know, she's kind of doing her own thing. I don't want to spoil like kind of her connection to everything, but I really loved her character, even though her moments with Tom, the movie was slowing down a bit. I liked seeing that side of Tom, or seeing that side of Maverick.
Yeah.
You know, and like, you know, we didn't get like, you know, there was that iconic, obviously like sex scene in the first movie. This one kind of has a different spin on it, which I thought was really funny and like kind of really well done as well too.
I remember the Hot Shots version of that set.
The Hot Shots?
You ever watch Hot Shots with Charlie Sheen? Yeah, Charlie Sheen.
No, what was the Hot Shots?
It's like a parody of Top Gun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you should watch it. But there's a sex scene with
the Take My Breath Away and everything like that.
It's very funny.
But yeah, it's like, but like they, you know, they have a moment like that, but it's also like but also like let's not do the same thing.
Right.
Let's elevate it. How can we make it better? How can we make it? This is 30 years later for this character, so he's not the same guy. You know, he's Maverick, but he's not the same Maverick from the 80s film. And I like that we saw that progression with him. And it reminded me a lot of, you know, when we saw Stallone in Creed. You know, yes, this is a lot of themes from the first Rocky movie, but Creed is forging his own path. And this movie forges its own identity too, which I really liked.
There's a lot of like watching this felt very Ford versus Ferrari as well.
Yes.
Like the grittiness, the fast pace, I think it's just the mechanical aspects of a movie. It just kind of, it gave me those vibes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got those.
100%. Like, dads are going to love this movie.
100%.
You know, like
dads would love this film.
You show your dad like a double feature of Ford vs Ferrari and Top Gun Maverick. I'm like, they're just happy Father's Day. You know,
now there are also characters that are not part of the crew. Like for instance, John Hamm's character, who oversees, we'll say, Top Gun, the school, and you know he doesn't play the John Hamm we all love. He plays like this asshole. Yeah,
and he's like I am the military guy here.
He does a really good asshole in this movie.
Yeah, and he has a great asshole in this. He is a great asshole. Yeah.
Oh my. And also Val Kilmer showing up too. That's nice to see.
Yeah, it was beautiful to see how they handled Iceman in this film. It's going to be really interesting though to see everyone's thoughts on this movie, especially for people who are, you know, diehard Top Gun fans, because they are out there.
Yeah, like don't expect this to be like, you know, best screenplay of the year, but I think a lot of people will enjoy the movie.
Yeah, this is the experience of it, right? Yeah. And that's it. And that's where I'm at with this movie, where it's like this, like I said, like this is why I love going to the movies. Like I left this movie, I'm like, that was a damn good movie. That was a movie. You know, and that's where I'm at with this film. I'm riding high with it. You know, I'm soaring in the clouds with Maverick right now.
It gives me 90s vibes.
Yeah.
Because that was like the last time summer blockbusters were not
just superheroes.
Right. And they were just these ordinary stories about who would have space and flight and all these cool things. And it just became amazing movies. Yeah. But yeah, it really kind of nostalgic in that sense for me.
Let's get to our final recommendations, because, you know, I'm sure we're going to have a lot more to talk about once Shay rejoins us. You know, he joins us in flight. So, you know, he'll join
Mr. Electric.
Mr. Electric. He'll join our Top Gun crew. Anthony, I'm going to get you to start us off.
This is a definite watch it. Go to an IMAX screening. You need to experience the whole IMAX experience, because this movie is really designed for the IMAX enjoyment. The sound design is fantastic, beautifully shot. The acting is fantastic. There are slow points to the story, but I think, you know, the love story is going to connect with a lot of people, especially like women who might not enjoy the fighter jets, but they might enjoy the love interest,
the romantic of it. It's funny, you know,
they'll probably like it because there is a female lead that's a fighter pilot. You know, this is opening up a lot of diversity in this film as well. So
it's true.
Yeah, this is a friggin' watch it. Like, if
it's
you're not
watch it.
If this is a movie of the summer for sure.
Yeah.
Until Thor comes out, and we'll see what happens.
But we'll see. You know, and you know, it's funny you mentioned that, because, you know, when I was watching Top Gun a couple weeks ago, and I think I spoke about this on the movie podcast as well, like one of our main episodes. I was looking, the bonus features for Top Gun have all of the trailers for the movie, and it actually has different cut trailers based on who they're marketing it to.
Really?
So it has a one that's like action, and then it has one that's like romance, and it's like Take My Breath Away is underscoring it, and it's all the romantic scenes of the film. And then there's jets, but it's like, and then you see the action version, and it's like like planes flying ever and going crazy in action. So it's so funny how movies are marketed. Honestly, Anthony, I'm giving this movie a real gem. I loved it. I absolutely love this movie. I cannot wait to watch this movie again. I cannot wait to talk more about this movie with you guys next week on the movie podcast. You know, I was just so in love. I was giddy in my seats, and it literally, like, I remind me, you know, when we left, you know, the Batman and even Everything Everywhere All at Once, I'm like, man, we've been so blessed with some incredible movies already this year. Like, I'm looking at my top movies of the year, and I think I already have like 10 or 11 in it, where it's like beginning of May, and we're already in such an amazing spot. And this is what I think I've been missing for so long, because, you know, the movie release schedule was weird last year, and then obviously in 2020 wasn't existent. I'm so glad that this movie was worth the wait. We've been waiting so long for it. We've been talking about this movie since 2019, like once we got that first trailer, and it's here and it delivered, and it was so damn good. Tom Cruise is the biggest and best movie star in the world. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah. It's amazing to have a movie this long in the making or to come out and still be good
and be a 30-year sequel as well too. It's crazy. We're living in a really great time, and I'm so excited for more people to watch it. If you're looking to watch Top Gun Maverick, of course, it releases May 27th exclusively in theaters, and it will be there exclusively in theaters for about 120 days based on Tom Cruise's new deal that they worked out for the release. Thank you so much again to our friends at Paramount Pictures Canada for inviting us to watch this film. As always, you could catch a brand new episode of the Movie Podcast every single Monday, and watch out throughout the week for review episodes just like this one and all the latest movies and series. Make sure to follow us at The Movie Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Letterboxd. And don't forget to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, join our Discord, and write into the show at hello@TheMoviePodcast.ca. Look out for all the incredible special guests joining us on The Movie Podcast, including the ones that are already out there like Kids in the Hall and Sam Raimi. Look forward to our Akiva Schaffer interview of The Lonely Island this week as well, too. There's lots to look forward to. We're so happy that you're here, and thank you so much for listening again. Also, if you want to enter into our Bob's Burgers giveaway, make sure you head over to our Instagram and Twitter page and enter there. That was This Time with the Movie Podcast, and we'll see you next.